Welcome to The Land, your Bet Sports Betting Show. 5 W games here on Friday. So excited to be bringing you some looks for at least 4 of these. We had the Golden State Valkyries on a back-to-back, so don't have much up for them just yet in that game on Friday. But the other 4 games have plenty of props. I'm excited to tell everybody in the VIP, if you did miss out on the message that I sent, running a little parlay contest. So if anybody in the VIP, DM me on Discord, make sure you do that. Send me a parlay of any kind, 500 to plus 1,000. That's the max there. I'll throw $10 on it. If it hits, you guys get the winnings. Whoever sends me the bet gets the winnings. But had a couple of days off as well. Very excited to let you know we've got the website coming up. It's going to be full of projections, plenty of research for you guys. That's going to be helpful, right? In addition to what we're bringing you with the video. So very excited to get that going soon, but very also excited to get into this 5-game slate for Friday. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. As always, going to be using Props Madness here on the show, the #1 sports betting research tool for everything that we're trying to find here in the W and the NBA as well. If you want to use this platform, definitely jump in using code LYB. That gets you 20% off on your first month there using that promo code. Like I said, the best time saver, the best way to do this, especially in the W where you're not getting this data anywhere else. But going down the line, giving you at least the leans if I'm not making a play, and that's going to be what it is for Paige Beckers here in this Fever and Wings game in Dallas. I don't really trust much. Now, I will say this Indiana defense that's been awesome on the season, limiting everything, points, threes, right there. Really, really good limiting stuff to guards, especially. They've actually given up the 4th most threes in the last 5 games or so. And their defense has actually been a bit worse without Caitlin Clark, who obviously we know is out once again in this game. And that's going to be key for a couple players. But as far as the Wings players go here for Paige, I'm not looking at much for her. I think the points are fair when we talk about 17.5. And here's the key for me. She's actually only scored 18 plus points 3 times in a row this season, once. So right here in this little cluster, she scored at least 18 points 3 straight times. All other times in this season when she scored 18 plus, she's only done it twice in a row. Just shows you the inconsistency overall with a lot of the players in the league, even some of the best ones, even though she is a rookie like Paige. But getting 2 in a row here at this point, honestly, I'm just a little bit out. I've gotten burned by her. I've hit on it. The 17.5 is fair. Even money is fair. If you play it every single game, then yeah, you're going to end up with at least making some money on it at about even money. But right now, like, I just don't like the inconsistency. I'm out on it. Kind of the same here with Arike. As we look at her props, not really feeling as confident in her at 15.5. I think everything here for her is fair. Assists at 3.5, that's fair. The boards 3.5, that's fair. She hasn't gotten 4 boards here, even though it's plus money. She hasn't gotten 4 boards here in the last 12 games. So I don't really trust that consistency either. There was some low minute games for her, but she's been getting minutes, right? Like she's back up to full here, 35 in the last one, 32, 31. So she was down in the 20s for a bit when she came back from injury, but she's fully back. So I just don't trust either of them. And then Guy Solder, there's no way I'm saying that right, so someone help me out there. But Louisa, again, with the minutes, like she's looked really good in the last couple games, but 9 shots, 6, 7, 7. Like she has to shoot 60% to get her 10 plus points here. This is not something I trust necessarily, and we'll see. There's a couple players still questionable. If we pull up the games with or without, Maddie Siegrist is questionable. I believe Maisha Hines-Allen is back in this game, so they still got a pretty full front court, and especially Dejanay Carrington. She's back, and that's the real reason why I don't really want to bet on anybody, even JJ Quinterly here, especially JJ Quinterly, who since Dejanay has been back in the last 5 games, this is the one player that's definitely gotten the sort of her props eaten into the most by Dejanay's presence. And then the boards have also been affecting players like Louisa, who was getting a good amount of boards. We're not even getting her boards prop anymore because she's been going under so consistently in the last 5 since Dejanay Carrington came back and is averaging 5.2 boards in 21 minutes in these last 5 games since she came back from injury. So just don't trust anything there with the Wings. But let's move into the Fever, because I really don't have a bet for a Wings player. Just want to let you know where I was leaning. And I don't have a bet for too many of these players. I'll say Kelsey Mitchell's stuff is high now at 20.5, but this is definitely the matchup, right? To be able to do this. If you look at the way that she scores in transition, from free throw, also from 3, like this, it's always a good matchup against the Wings if you're a good slashing guard, somebody who can get to the bucket and drive and handle the way that she does. we're not even getting her assist prop because the WNBA has been a joke as far as the sports books offering us lines, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe we'll get Kelsey Mitchell props tomorrow. It doesn't seem likely at this point. But for Kelsey, the points 20.5, that's the only number I would play over. It's very, very high. Even without Caitlin Clark this season, she's at about 20 points per game. So it's not like this is a nice over at 20.5 points, but they expect this game to be decently high scoring because the Wings are still really bad on defense. But 20.5 is too high for me. For Leah Boston, everything's still too high with me, even without CC. Now, in the last few games, her rebounds have been really good, and that might look like the best play here. But I'm actually heeding caution. This is the number one defense limiting center rebounds in terms of the Wings. You can see defensive rank versus position. This is number one limiting rebounds to the center position. So don't love that for her. Natasha Howard is an enigma to me. If you look at her in this matchup, especially, she's done really, really well head to head. Still don't really trust it. In those games, she got 32 in 24 minutes. Went, like I said, 70% from the field. That's what she has to shoot to get her overs. And she's got a lot of overs here, but in those games, she's still shooting the ball 10 to 11 times, shooting 60%. Not something I want to have to rely on against a Wings team that's actually decent down low, especially more so than they are out on the wing. So kind of out on Natasha Howard as well, because I don't know what to do with her. Sophie Cunningham, I think we have enough of an edge here that we can still get over on the points and the threes. Even if you want to drink the juice, take the threes. That's still the majority of her shots are from three, right? 3 of her 6 shots, 6 of 6 shots, 4 of 5, 8 of 8. 8 of 12. All those, that's the amount of threes she's taking as opposed to the total number of shots. So it's kind of one of those things where you might as well take the threes, maybe a ladder up to 3. This Wings defense is still terrible, up to limiting threes overall against the spot up. Players playing off ball, especially like Sophie Cunningham will be. They won't give us her boards, again, because they're cowards. She hasn't been boarding very well, but the key here for me is just the minutes. Like, I'm just going to chase that volume. 30, 31, 33, 33. That's what she's been playing since she got into the starting lineup and started playing more than the 26 that she was playing, especially with Lexi Hull out. So yeah, there's plenty to like for Sophie still. And for Ari McDonald, to finish out this game, the points I don't trust. If you look at this 27 here, Kelsey Mitchell obviously went under last game because she only played 20 minutes because she had 5 fouls, right? She was in foul trouble pretty much the whole game. Ari McDonald was definitely the biggest beneficiary of that. Took 11 shots, got to the free throw line 10 times. It was really aggressive against Phoenix. I wouldn't expect that to continue. 9.5 is a fair line for her. It's basically just a 50-50 bet if you want to just flip a coin. That's what I would say about the points with her. The assists, I think we get a little bit of an edge. This minus 150 juice, I do not like drinking at all. But against the Wings especially, I mean, she has 2 games against them with 6 assists in both of those. This is the worst defense, limiting assists, and especially to guards and point guards, they're the worst defense overall. So a lot of guards getting theirs against this defense in terms of the assists. You see 8 of the last 15 guards went over on their prop in terms of the point guards and similar position to Ari McDonald. I think it's still a really good look for her. The minus 150 definitely scares me a bit out of this, right? I don't love it at that point. If we can get this down to minus 135, I don't think anyone's going to take the under against the worst assist defense, but maybe it's as simple as like just skip the 4.5, take the 6+ for reduced units, and that's the best way to play Ari McDonald's overs. Next game up, we got the Phoenix Mercury in Atlanta taking on the Dream. So let's just run down here. We know Ryan Howard is still out for the Dream. Everybody going to be in there for Phoenix, but the key here is going to be Ryan Howard out for this squad. Now, 19.5 is a lot. She had a great game. In fact, her best game against the Mercury this season. 28 points in that game, 10 of 16 from the line, or from the field rather. 6 assists, 7 boards. So really nice there with 41 PRA, right? Like basically her best output, tied with the Mystics game on the season. The thing here, if we take Ryan Howard out, the key here for me with Alicia Gray is that she just gets the focus of the defense when Ryan Howard is not around. And if you look at the backups that come in and get some minutes in Ryan Howard's place, right, like Hillman and company, they're not the same offensive players that Howard is. They're good defensive players, but that allows the defense to really, really focus on Alicia Gray. That's why her PRA is down at 27.3, actually lower than her season average when Ryan Howard is out this season, right? If you look at the total, the points are a big reason. It's the main reason for that. 19.5 points right now is wildly high for someone who has only averaged 16.6 and gone under this number in 6 of 8 games without Ryan Howard. Once again, the assists also pretty high. The boards are the only thing that I'd be looking at. And this does give us the opportunity for Alicia Gray, maybe take over 5.5 boards parlayed with under on the points and or assists, or points and assists, something to that effect. That gives you what we call the negative correlation. You're taking her to do well in one prop and and to do poorly in another or two props, that's going to sort of increase the odds that you're going to get back on your return on that bet if it cashes, right? So I would consider that a good play. And either way, if you just wanted to play it straight, 5.5 boards. This is what we played last time for Gray. Still going to be a good look. Mercury, good overall in terms of defense, but the rebounding, they're 9th in terms of limiting rebounds, 9th limiting guard rebounds as well. Don't have that many tall, like really big players in terms of centers, right? They're not really playing Westbeld that much, especially anymore. It's mostly a lineup full of forwards, if you will. And they're tall at other positions, so they're good rebounding overall, but not good enough. I like Alicia Gray, especially on the boards. Jordan Canada, I would love to get PRA for her. They're not even offering it to us, but her PRA is a good look. And the points especially, that's the thing that goes up the most without Ryan Howard for her. The shot attempts go up as well. If you look at advanced filters and go over to field goal attempts on the season, she is at the about 9.9. That goes up by 2, right? She's taking 2 more shots without Ryan Howard around. So I'd be looking at the points probably over anything. The assists are now silly high, even at 6.5 for plus money. Only gone over that twice in the 7 games she's played without Ryan. So not really trusting anything other than the points for Jordan Canada, whose usage and on-ball stuff just continues to skyrocket when Ryan Howard is not playing. As we move on to Bree Jones, looking at Brianna Jones, this is all filtered right now. Everything you're looking at here for all these players is without Ryan Howard. I think 8 games without her is a big enough sample size at this point that we can use it enough to kind of like help guide us. But for Bree Jones, I don't trust anything with her. She finally had a decent game last game. 27 minutes still is a few minutes less than she was getting earlier in the year. And the 10 shots she took, they were going to her late in the game. But like, look at these last like handful of games, especially without Ryan Howard in this last stretch without her in these last 5 or so. One over, not taking very many shots. The usage percentage is down on this about 1% from the way it's been normally on the season. The field goal attempts down a bit as well. The boards are down for her. So everything just screams to the under without Ryan Howard. It's telling us there's no offer, but there is. It's like 6.5 for her. Computer's probably overheating. Either way, Bree Jones, I'd be leaning under before I did anything, but it's a stay away from me. And same with Griner. Like, dude, this is the volatility of what's happening in this league. Griner in the last game, 16 minutes, 20 minutes. These are the last 2 games for her. Prior to that, 30 minutes, 26, 25. Like 3 games in a row, she gets 25 plus. Then she goes back down to 20 or less. I can't project what to do with that. Like, this would be another like big game for her in terms of the revenge narrative going up against the Mercury. So what I said last time we played Brittany Griner and what I'd be doing with her again is either stay away or go for like the alt line, 15 plus points combined with 5 plus boards. Get yourself like 4-1 or something like that, and just play the high upside for her, because I don't trust anything else for her regular props, because I don't trust her minutes, right? So if you reduce the amount of money that you're putting on her and betting on her, but you do find higher odds and parlays and ways to play the high upside, then it's sort of the best way to play it when you don't trust the minutes she's going to play. Moving down to the Mercury, I'm only talking about Alyssa Thomas. I have no idea what to do with Satu Sabali or Kalea Copper at this point. Great game from Kalea last game, 31 minutes. Prior to that, 26, 24, 22, all those games in a row. I know she was coming back from injury. I still don't know if she's back to full, but if she is, then 15.5 is about fair. Maybe you can say it's beatable. Still hasn't done it very often this season, right? And 31 minutes was actually the most she's played in this last game. That was the most amount of minutes that she's played on the season. So still don't trust her. Sabali has just been in a funk and has been seeing the low 20s as well because of the injury return. So don't know if either of those players should be trusted to come back against a Dream defense that is still ranked very, very well on defense overall. So we move to the Liberty. They're in Connecticut taking on the Sun. Don't know. I don't like it. This should be a blowout. It's 10.5 is the spread right now in favor of the Liberty on the road. I mean, Tina Charles has been killing, but if this game does get out of control, like this last game against the Storm, she only played 23 minutes. I don't trust the Sun overall. Marina Mabry seems like she has a little bit of an edge at 12.5 points. Also, don't trust her. Don't trust the Sun mostly in the minutes they're going to play. So I'm staying away from that. For Sabrina, no, thank you. I hate her. I mean, I didn't bet her in this last game. I took a day off again for the website building that I'm doing. This is the game that I bet her though, and I bet her laddered it up to 30 plus. She doesn't shoot. She doesn't look like she wants to be there, and they get pummeled, and then end up only losing by 10. But they were getting pummeled by the Wings for the Liberty. So don't trust Sabrina. Maybe she go. The thing here is the blowout possibility is like, fine, I'm out. I don't need to spend money on her. John Quell, I think we can get an under. She's still playing, limited minutes, even against the Lynx here. 29 minutes. I think that's where she's capped. I don't think she needs to play 30 minutes in this game. Again, if it's not that close, which it shouldn't be, then John Quell if you can get 29 and a half on the PRA and go under that, not available on the under right now for DraftKings. But if you do see a 29 and a half, that's a great under for her. Even last year when she played without Stewie, if we did not look at the head-to-head, but look at last season, 2024, if we look at that, and we look at her games without Breanna Stewart. There's only 2 of them, right? One game she managed to climb over in 34 minutes versus Chicago, and then in 35 minutes versus the Sun, she actually went under. That was a much better defense last year. My main point is like I don't think that she's going to be needed for that many minutes, and 29.5 is so high for someone who could still be on a somewhat minutes restriction if she's not needed too much. So I wouldn't expect her to get the minutes to get there. The most beatable number for Cloud, if you wanted to go over, is going to be points. 10.5. Don't like 7.5 assists. We've gotten out of control for her, and on the boards even 4.5 out of control. Now I know Stewie's out, right? In addition to actually, that's pretty much it. It's Stewie, right? So Stewie's out and that should mean more for Natasha Cloud. But the only number that's truly beatable is the points. She's averaging about 15 points per 30 minutes with Stewart off court this season, even in the games that Stewie's playing, but she's off court. Natasha Cloud is playing without her, so averaging about 15 points per 30 minutes. So that's the most beatable number for her. Don't trust Fibich, love her, but it's just random when she's going to decide to take more or than 5 or 6 shots. And even if you look at these games where she's going over, the most that she took, right, was she took 11 here, she took 9 there. Other than that, she's taken 6 max or 7 at max, right? It's not enough shots to go, yeah, I feel good about you getting 10 points off of 7 shots. I don't want to have to bank on her shooting 70, 65% from the field. But Marina Johannes, definitely saying that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Johannes. Her and Gabby, an item, by the way, power couple. Do think that she's a little bit more blowout proof. This is the one over that I really like. I think Natasha Cloud's points are a good over, but I think the Johannes points especially are the best over. Threes, worth it. I mean, she's 9 of her 10 shots against the Lynx the other day were threes. So again, maybe a threes ladder or just take the 9.5 points. But I would say that the threes ladder is actually a better way to go. 80 to 90% of her shots are going to be from 3, and she is their best option right now, and has been getting a few more minutes. 31 against the Lynx because they need that threat from deep. I would imagine that she's in a similar volume range in a game against the Sun, especially because she's more blowout proof. So she's probably my favorite over here for the Liberty in this game. Lastly, we come to the game of the night. Got the Sparks in Seattle taking on the Storm. So let's just run down what we've got here. For Skylar Diggins-Smith, I like the assists more than anything. 16.5 is a fair line for her. The assist at 5.5 is probably fair, but because of the matchup with the Sparks, saw she had 7 in the last one. This defense is 10th, right? 4th worst, limiting assists overall. 4th most to guards as well. I would continue to expect her to facilitate as they're much worse against the spot up, right? Are the Sparks here. You can see if you look at the play type stuff, go back to points, scroll down to play type. 5th best limiting points to pick and roll ball handlers, but 3rd worst limiting spot up points, and the worst above the break threes. So you can tell, right, like spot up shooters who shoot from above the break going to have a good time against the Sparks defense. NECA, I do like an over on the points for NECA. In fact, it might be like an under on the rebounds combined with an over on the points. The Sparks have been the best rebounding team in the league over the last 10 or 11 games. Number 1 in rebound percentage. 3rd best limiting rebounds overall in the season. No reason to think that NECA should have a big rebounding game against them. Had 5 in the last matchup, but points-wise, right, 26 in that game. And I think it's going to be a pretty similar output for her. A lot of points, not as many boards. So another good moment in time to take the boards over straight up, great. But also love the points over parlayed with an under on the rebounds to go ahead and get yourselves a little bit better juice, like I say, on the parlay there, the negatively correlated parlay. For Gabby, I still like 21.5 if you can get it, but it's quickly disappears in terms of the PRA number for her. I've been talking about that all season. I think the rebounds and the assists, if you can get those at 8.5, that's where they opened, or 9.5 or plus money. That would be my preferred look here against the Sparks. Had 11 and 29 minutes in a blowout last game. That was without Kelsey Plum, by the way, when these teams matched up. We should say Plum was not available for the Sparks in that one. Storm won on the road by 31 points. Don't think it's going to be a 31-point blowout in this one, but I would say the RA is what I like the most for her. And the team, like I said, gives up a ton of assists, and it doesn't give up a ton of rebounds, but they do give up rebounds to her position is the key here. 9th most rebounds allowed to the guard position where Gabby's out on the wing a bunch. So like that the most for her. If she does get the Kelsey Plum matchup, it could be a little bit difficult, right? She didn't have the Kelsey Plum matchup in this last one versus the Sparks, so we got to keep that in mind. But I still like either RA or PRA over for Gabby. For Erica Wheeler, I think this is just mispriced. 2 threes plus 142. Something that even though we look at her numbers on the season, we see in 27 games, she's averaging 1.7, but she's hit this in over 16 of 27 games, right? So she's at about a 59% hit rate going to the over on 1.5 threes. And we're getting plus 142 for it against a team that is giving up the most threes above the break. And that's where she shoots half of her threes. I mean, if she can get to 6 threes, this is a great bet. Even if she gets to 5, I'm good with 1.5, like attempts. I mean, I'm good with 1.5 made threes for plus 142. Love that for Wheeler. Ezzy, another great example of just random fluctuation. Last game played 17 minutes, big win. Maybe didn't need her as much. Prior game played 26. Prior to that played 23. That's coming off of playing 27, 32, 36, 30, 35, 28. 31, right? Like 7 games in a row. Bangers of minutes, and then all of a sudden we can't get her back on the floor. Obviously, she had fouls against Chicago, so we'll give her a little bit of a break there. Still got us our over in that game. DC, they lost by 11, but no foul trouble, just 2 fouls. It seems a little bit more random with her, especially. And they have the young chick coming off the bench too now, who they are giving a ton of minutes to. Whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but Malonga. Either way, she's coming off taking some of Ezzy's minutes, so out on that. Kelsey Plum. Beatable numbers. She's been on a tear. She's actually been crushing it, especially in these last 12 games or so as the Sparks have picked things up. She's been a huge catalyst for it. Her field goal percentage way up, her 3-point percentage way up, just not the matchup. And she missed this last game, so we don't have anything from this season in terms of head-to-head data or a prior use case. But this is the number 2 defense limiting points to guards. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you. They are second limiting points to guards. Assists, she's been crushing as well. 5.5 is basically even money, but this is the second best defense limiting assist to guards, 4th best overall. Not the matchup, man, overall for Plum. So she's the one that I might be staying away from, but I still love De'Arica Hamby. She failed to cash for us last game because that game got a little bit out of control and she didn't get the minutes in the 4th, but she had 11 points at the half, and I would take that over on 15.5 every time. This is still a 17.5 point per game player, so the 15.5, it's beatable for sure. When it comes to Rakia Jackson and I'm never going to say Stevens' name right, and Stevens, I love them both still. I can't get away from it. I still prefer Stevens. She's got a slightly lower number on the points, so I'd be going over for her on the points. That's where I'm going to be going. TBD on Rakia, to be honest. So just so you know, Stevens is a bet. Jackson is a lean, and I just don't trust her quite as much as Stevens, especially with a lower number. The boards as well. This is we've talked about with Seattle many times, especially in the last 12 games or so. Horrible limiting rebounds to centers and to bigs, and Stevens at 7.5 for basically minus 120 or so. Still a really good number. 8.5 boards on the season. Over this very, very consistently as well on the season. 16 of 26. Nice hit rate there. And this is going to be as well head-to-head one that she got earlier in the year. 10 boards. Nice little double-double in that game in just 24 minutes when they lost by 31 points. So the boards love for Stevens, and the points probably just going to keep going back to 15 plus because she's never scored 12 and she's never scored 13 this season. We've talked about that, so you might as well just take 15 plus for Stevens on that one. And then Brink, if she can get back there, look, there's a reason she was picked before other really big names, because she's really good. She's 6'4", she's got the wingspan, she can shoot the 3, and those are the only props we're getting. Actually, we're getting boards now for her too, just at least on a couple of books. So I just don't know that she's back yet, right? This is 14 minutes in the last game. It's just because they got to work her way back. She only had 1 game under her belt now for the season, so don't really trust her yet, but I'm excited to bet on her when we get there. And that is all the time that I have for you guys in this one. So appreciate you all tuning in. Make sure you do check out the description of the video. Got plenty of opportunities for you to get into the VIP for a free month if you're interested. You can get that by signing up for any of the sports books you see in the description of the video, and then plenty of other options like the WNBA season pass as well. If you want to check out the VIP, get all the bets we're putting down here. But either way, excited to show you guys that website as we're coming up on it being live here, especially for NFL projections, bets, all the like. So best of luck here on Friday in the W. And until I see y'all next, happy betting.